Hey, good morning. I would like to make an assessment with the remedy in explaining some of the things that Trump is doing in this country. Uh, he's doing a lot of good things, but he's getting a lot of criticism also. And I'm going to draw some comparisons. Some years ago, I wasn't radical, but I was a perfectionist. And it was kind of like my way or the highway, especially with health and nutritional products. I was dead set against anything allopathic, and I was always holistic. And I just had a reminder that sometimes you need allopathic. Excuse me, I'm clearing my throat. For those who don't know, I had an aneurysm about 3 months ago. And, for 4 days, I was in intense pain because it was pressing up against a nerve. And I was dead set and doing it, holistic and getting rid of this headache. It finally reached a point it was so bad that I went to the hospital. They did a MRI on me and they knew what was going on. And a short time later, I was taken into surgery. And I survived, obviously. And it was a reminder to me that sometimes you need allopathic doctors. And I've seen that. I really did understand that before. I had a friend who had diabetes, and he damn near died. And he went holistic, and he wouldn't take his insulin. Well, sometimes you got to take your insulin before you can get back, before you can get back on track with holistic physicians, naturopathic. And there's a whole lot of examples like that. Another one is people that suffer heart attacks because their heart is diseased. It's plugged up with cholesterol, things of that nature, because they never took their omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, nitric oxide, and any other thing that's going to help your heart. And at that point in time, you got to go allopathic. You got to let the doctors do surgery on you. Okay, or you're going to die. And then let them do the surgery, and then you get back to doing things holistic with natural remedies. Now, I'm going to compare that with what our country's going through. This country is, I think Isaiah summed it up. He says the whole head and heart are sick. And you can compare it to a patient, okay? It needs radical surgery. And then once we get back on track, we can go with, naturopathic or holistic things such as Pure Constitution. Just thought of another really good example. And I got this from Dr. Paul, Rand Paul's dad, some years ago. And one of the questions was, why don't we just go right to a gold standard? Okay? Let's just go straight to a gold standard, because that's how we're being ripped off by all these elitists and these bankers and, on and on and on. He says, no, we'll go to competing currencies, and good money will eventually replace bad money. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he more or less summed it up. He says, money, specie and fiat money, paper money, which is counterfeit money actually, is a medium of exchange of goods and services. If you try to go strictly to gold immediately, gold and silver, there's just not enough of it in the economy in the United States to meet that demand, to meet those ends. And you would absolutely crash and destroy the economy of the United States. And the United States as well. So that's why he says go to competing currencies and allow the gold and silver to replace, over a period of time, replace specie and fiat money as a medium of exchange. Okay, you just can't do it all of a sudden. So I'm comparing that to our country and what's happening right now. And this country is sick in so many ways, good grief. I was thinking the other day, why all these rioters? Well, they've not been taught the Constitution of the United States. All they see, and in their mind, is they see tyranny taking place when ICE and National Guard come in, and they react. They don't think about it. They react. Okay, and because they have no education, and this has been going on for a long, long time. Okay, they took out of the schools and colleges the pure Constitution of the United States. They don't teach it. Then you add upon that the fluoride that's been in the water and dumped. See, the populace of the United States has been dumbed down severely, very dumbed down. And a lot of it has to do with the food that has been poisoned, the air that's been poisoned. I know for a fact that they poisoned our water a long time ago. And they've been dumbing people down that way with fluoride in the water. I can remember as a kid, a lot of the kids in school had those like white lines along their teeth. That's fluoride. This has been going on for a long, long time. I'm 73 years old, and I'm talking like 65 years ago, 60 years ago, that where I live, they're putting fluoride in the water. Any wonder I got one brain cell left. Then you talk about all the vaccinations that they're giving children today. They're destroying the ability to critically think. And that's why you're getting all these revolutionary young people. And it's really sad. It's really sad. Because I think it's a cry for help. I really do. I think it's a cry for help. Our economy, our banking system, we can't get rid of it right away, okay? But we can start, and Doge is doing a good job getting rid of, all the fraud, graft, deception, abuse, and he's doing a really good job. Maybe some of the cuts are a little deeper than they should be. Some people are being hurt, I'm sure of that, just like ICE and rounding up all these illegals. I was dead set against illegals that have been a credit to society. Hardworking, God-fearing people that support the Constitution of the United States. I wanted a task force to be set up to protect these people. Now, I am for getting rid of the criminals. I am for getting rid of those that are abusing the systems, that are living off the dole and taking advantage of the taxpayers. But here we go. It's a hard task just to thread the needle. Some of these people, unfortunately, are going to be exported that really shouldn't be exported, okay? And I know that goes against the grain of a lot of patriots, but as I do believe that is the truth, that some people should have been protected. Good people should have been protected. And I'm seeing that actually take place in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have the culinary union, it's the largest union in the state of Nevada. And they work at all the hotels and casinos. And, they're primarily women. Most of them are women. And they go through the process of cleaning the rooms and cleaning toilets, everything. Doing the dishes, whatever. Now, Trump, he has compromised and is allowing them to stay. At least, maybe they can get them straightened out and become American citizens. But the hotels and casinos really do need them. And then you have certain farmers that need them. So there is some compromise that has taken place, and I do believe it is necessary. As bad as that sounds, I believe it is necessary, or we will collapse our economy. And we're right on the edge. We've been right on the edge in so many things. Now, take into consideration the wars. Okay, what do you do with Israel? Oh God, I got this scratchy throat. I'm sorry. What do you do with Israel? You know, it's one of our only allies in that part of the world. I think it is really screwed up. I think Netanyahu is an absolute criminal. But on the other hand, are you going to let them all be destroyed by all the surrounding countries, which would gladly destroy Israel? And I hate calling them Israel, I really do. Iran, you know, I'm sure that this administration did not want to bomb Iran, but they had no choice. There's a whole lot of compromising. Man, I don't know where this tickle's coming from. I hope I can get rid of it. There's a whole lot of compromising that has taken place because this whole nation and this whole world is sick. It is. The whole head and the whole heart is sick. And we're looking at shock therapy, radical surgery to try and fix things. Yeah, we could have gone down with the ship, let it sink right away by being purist in every way, shape, or form. And, you know, and I've heard people say, you know, you compromise, you lose some of your soul. And I do understand that. I think this country's been on the edge, so close to the edge in so many different ways, that radical surgery it has been necessary in some cases. And that's what, you know, the left is screaming about, this radical surgery, but it was necessary. You know, Doge had to get in there and do some things. I think Trump's doing an excellent job. I think he's between a rock and a hard place in so many different ways. And, you know, but I think he has a good grasp on the situation. And he's doing the absolute best he can. I think it's the best it could possibly be done. So that's why I say have some patience. Give the man a chance. Because there's nothing better out there. I'll guarantee you that. And we saw what the last administration was like, and he's got to come in and clean up that whole mess. And I think it was way worse than he thought. You know, I actually made the statement, his first 4 years, we're all going to be treading water. Now, he has done an awful lot in 6 months, but we got a long ways to go. A long, long ways to go. So I guess that's all I got to say. Over and out.